I sent it on to somebody who had been communicating with me. It's a little saying by Emily Heller. It says, "I've been single for a while, and I have to say it's going very well. Like, it's working out. I think I'm the one." I think that's basically it. You have to like yourself. Exactly what you said. Before we go to the main attraction, or sorry, feature, after Niamh, feature is a better word, I'm sorry there. You said the book could be opened in any page and read from. So here we go. My birthday, 2012. So I opened it on this. And I think it's poignant. The format for my very own radio show, pick a band or an artist I liked, maybe half a dozen tunes by them, which I would play around for a bit of waffle. This usually comprised of facts, figures, names and dates, some interesting information about the band, the personnel, the songs, any records or other achievements and so on. Other contributions at the station hosted and presented programs, other contributors, hosted and presented programs with jazz, heritage, politics, current affairs, 60s music. So it was an original format and worked well. I recall a funny conversation we had at the studio. "What are you going to use as your SIG, Carl?" "What's a SIG, James?" That's James. "You know, like a signature tune." "No idea. What do you mean?" "You know, like when we introduce your show, some background music." "Ah, of course. Yeah, yeah." Do you know what? I flicked through this, Carl, and it's an honest account of a real life. And I'm looking forward to going through it in great detail. Well done, you. Something to be proud of.
Thank you.
Okay, I assume starting with the thank yous is the done thing, but I'm going to leave it till the end if that's okay. What I would like to say is the book is a non-fiction narrative account of what I went through for 4 months in 2012, my own irreverent take on the cold turkey experience. It's a very honest account, and it's not a done thing for men in general to speak openly and honestly about dealing with addiction and depression. I found a great support in the group or the community of people that met at Sunyata, the Buddhist retreat centre in Sixmilebridge. And what I found was that the wisdom acquired from a meditation practice led me to the conclusion that society is constantly bombarding us with this message of consume, consume, consume. And, you know, if you're not happy with 3 of something, get 6 of them. If you're not happy with your car, get a faster one. If you're not happy with your job, get a better paid one. And this whole sort of reinforcement of this message benefits the marketing people, the advertisers and so on. So there's nobody actually, whether you turn on the TV or the radio or read the newspapers, telling you that you are enough. You have enough. And just you, as you are enough. You don't have to be someone. You don't have to buy more of something or have more of something. And so, one of the themes in the book and throughout the book is this concept of truth. And not telling the truth in an abstract, platonic sense that's ethereal and out there, but just the truth for me as an ordinary guy, as a family man, as a guy who's putting together a book. And I suppose I didn't write it for the money. The driver for me was, if this book helps one single other person that can relate to what I went through, and the book is very much a cathartic experience in that it helped me get through what I was going through, then my job will have been done. And so I'm delighted and privileged and honoured that the Samaritans have come along to tell about the good work they do. The Limerick Mental Health Awareness people, in my mind, and in Saoirse Addiction Clinic as well. I wanted to use the book launches and the book signings as an opportunity to promote these organisations that help people in an everyday sense with whatever they're going through. And to say, it's very clear in the narrative, if you read the book, what I'm saying is, for me, it's okay not to be okay. It's normal, it's ordinary, that's life, that's what happens. We all have ups and downs. Generally speaking, again, women tend to talk more often than men do. There is an issue with men, with suicide, with depression in this country. And so if there is one single guy in his 30s or his 40s that's going through a tough time that can relate to my accounts and comes forward as a consequence, again, my job will have been done. One thing I wasn't expecting to see was the men's sheds here in Sixmilebridge Library. They have a small presentation. I'd love to find out more about this and hopefully contribute in some way and get involved. 2 or 3 people on separate occasions have mentioned it to me, and I think it's a very worthwhile cause. There was a story I wanted to relate, and it was more to illustrate the fact that things can change very quickly in life. Situations that we might perceive as being one way are in fact another, and vice versa. And the story goes along the lines of a Chinese farmer who basically had a single horse and was regarded as this being a very good thing. It was a source of income, it was a positive thing. And one day he found that his horse had escaped and left. And everybody in the community said, well, this is a terrible thing. What are you going to do? And he said, well, we'll see. A few days later, the horse returned with 5 or 6 other horses, and all of a sudden he had 7 horses. And this meant this was a huge boon. This was a massive bonus. This meant he could be very well to do. And everybody said, well, this is fantastic news. You must be overwhelmed, and this is great. And he said, we'll see. And so, again, 2 or 3 days later, his eldest son, in attempting to break in one of the horses, was kicked very badly in the leg and suffered a severe fracture. So much so that everybody in the community again said, well, this is terrible news, this is awful. And again, the farmer said, well, we'll see. A few days later, the Chinese army were in town conscripting every single able-bodied young man in every single community. And of course, the son with a broken leg was left at home. And I like that story. It struck a chord with me. It resonated with this whole notion that what we might think about the situation isn't exactly the truth of the situation. And so, finally, I just want to come to thank yous. I'd like to thank my long-suffering wife, not only for juggling between being the tea lady and the video lady, but for sticking with me through tough times over the years. Her parents in particular have been a huge support to us. Again, Sunyata, the Buddhist Retreat Centre, has been a source of support. I'd like to thank the guest speakers that have given up their time this evening to come along. I'd like to thank Richard for helping me host the event, and of course the library and the staff for allowing me to use the premises here for the event this evening. And it's very humbling to be able to use the book signings and the book launches as an opportunity to promote mental health awareness. So there will be tea and coffee, and I will undertake to sign books for anyone that's interested to do so. And thanks for your time, and thanks for listening, and thanks again to everyone for coming.
I had planned to finish off by saying thank you to everybody, but Carol has already done that. I will note that our 2 library staff are on overtime at this stage, and I don't think they'll pay for it.
No tea, sir.
Tea and coffee will be brief.
Yes.